Caleb Williams now. Caleb, to me, and I know we've always made the joke about offseason champions, but he and Drake May have probably had the best offseason for any quarterback this year. I think the Patriots had a very underrated draft. Like, they, to me, killed it. To me, they had the draft of all drafts. I really, really loved what the Patriots did, but the Bears were right up there to me. And to me, the pressure's on. We talking about pressure. Pressure's on Caleb, bro. There's no more excuses. Not that there was too many last year. I thought it was pretty reasonable takes for the most part on Caleb, and expectations for the most part. As bad as the situation he was around, he still had 3,000 yards passing, still had 20 touchdowns. His first Bears quarterback since like Mitch 2018 to throw for 20 touchdowns or more. So he did good for what the situation was. But now those expectations go up. You get the head coach that you wanted. You get the head coach that was the number one on everybody's list in the NFL for the last 2 seasons. Not only that, you get year 2 Roma Dunze. You get DJ Moore again. You've got Luther Burden. You've got a rebuilt offensive line, which is the most important thing. This man was sacked 68 times last year, and he avoided 50, which is a nuts stat. So now we're going to really see how good this kid is, because this is something that I don't want to say it's make or break because it's the second year, but we got to see major strides this year, to the point where if I don't see certain numbers, I'm going to be disappointed. And that's what we got to see now. Can he play in structure? What's he going to be? What's his work ethic going to be like? That was something that was questioned a little bit towards the end of last year. Even Ryan Poles bringing it up and saying that, we're going to give him a little pass. He's rookie now. Ryan Poles said on Cap and J-Ho yesterday that he has been in the playbook for the last month and a half with Ben Johnson. So that is intriguing to me. But I think with all of these weapons that he has and the new rebuilt offensive line, there's no excuse for Caleb to not go over there and have an incredible year if he's healthy. Dante, what do you think about what you want to see from Caleb and what the expectations will be for him next year?
I think the expectations will be high as they should be. I want to see him play within the structure of the offense more. I feel like far too often we saw him do that little spin move or try to go off. And I know you have to get back, but until you can get the consistency, well, you have that rapport with your receivers. But I think we see him more playing within the structure of the offense, taking what's given. And I think having somebody like Ben Johnson, who actually, is great at scheming, that's going to help him a lot. So just play him more under control. He doesn't turn the ball over a lot, but just continuing to get consistent with his receivers. I think those balls up the seam that he used to miss a lot. I would like to see a lot of those connections this year. And I think no matter what, the expectations are going to be there, and they really should be there, because you're still the number one pick in the NFL draft. It's not a situation where he's a mid-tier quarterback and they've added all these pieces. No, you were the number one pick, and they've consistently added weapons around you, and now they went out and got the coach. So for me, I expect him to, like I said, just play more consistent within the offense and take those little check downs, so little 5 yards here, 7 yards there, to get his flow going. And if we see that, I think we'll see a next step. I don't want to say officially arrives, but I think you'll definitely see him take that next step in his progression.
Dang, what's your thoughts on the pressure with Caleb this year and what you want to see? We've all talked about different things we want to see from Caleb, but now he's got the things that he needs to succeed.
Hey man, I don't think this draft or anything adds to with the pressure that he already had up on him. He's the number one pick in the draft. Um, Even though by stat standards he had a pretty decent year. The Bears did not have a good year. The second pick in the draft ended up taking this team to the NFC Championship. If that ain't pressure, then all of this other shit that's going on is just icing on the cake. Really, that's what that is. You got the coach that you wanted in Ben Johnson. Um, he's bringing in the staff and he's building the offense around you. So yeah, the pressure was always going to be there. But I don't think it gotten any higher after Jaden Daniels had the year that he had. Um, but I also expect him to I also expect him to succeed in this, especially when basically, by all accounts, everybody ain't trying to throw Matt Eberflus underneath the bus, but they throwing him under the bus. Even Ryan Pace in a little bit of a way threw him under the bus in that conversation they had on Cap and J Hood when you say that Roshan Johnson was misused. Why was he misused? Coaching. So
Coaching.
we'll see what happens.
I think is there like a number that you're looking for, or is it more play on the field that you'll be looking at as far as
Stats numbers or wins?
Yeah, wins.
As
Stats numbers.
Oh well, as far as wins go, they got to win at least 9. They got to win at least 9 in this division, and that's saying a lot because if you look at the teams they got to play this year, depending on how the schedule shakes out, that's going to be tough. But they got to win. They got to win 9. As far as stats go, he got to throw for 4,000. He got to throw for 4,000. What he threw for 3,500, 34, 3,500?
It's like 33, 35, something like that.
33, yeah, something like that. He got to throw for 35. When you look at the offense, or just the fact that you have a offensive guru, when you look at the fact that you got Colston and you got Cole Kmet, so you that 12 personnel is going to look dope. When you look at the fact that you got Luther roaming that middle, and you still got DJ, and you still got Romo Doomsday, you have a better offensive line there, and you have running backs that can catch the ball because you got Swift that's right there. You got Roshan that can do a little bit outside of the backfield, and even the rookie that they got can catch the ball and pass protect his ass off. So he got to throw 4,000, and they got to win 9 games. And depending on how the schedule shakes out, because it's not just the teams you play, it's the when you play them. Depending on how it shakes out, this could be a pretty big year for him. But I'm not going to jump out the body yet. He just got a lot of pressure that's on him.
Yeah, and the NFL schedule drops May 14th. So we're about 12 days away from that dropping. Dante, is there any numbers you're looking at or wins total to look at, or are you just looking more about how he's playing the game?
How he's playing the game. It was too many times this season where he clearly looked like a rookie. And I mean, I know we expected that, but at the same time, my expectations were a little higher for Caleb because of where he was picked and everything surrounding him being picked number 1. So just the way he plays, like I said, just the rhythm he has while he's on the field, not, overthrowing, throwing ducks, not even ducks, but throwing the ball 100 miles an hour into the ground. Like we saw him skip passes because he was so amped up sometimes. So just like I said, I'm not really looking for certain numbers or wins. I think obviously I do want to see his numbers improve from last season, but it doesn't have to be a tremendous improvement as long as he plays within the flow of the game and the game just looks smoother.
Yeah, I think on the win tip, I think 9 wins is very accurate. Like I've always said, this is not a 5-win team roster. It was more about coaching. He's got to win at least 9 games. And like you said, I want to see 4,000 yards and I want to see around 30 touchdowns. Show us you're that guy. And with the Ben Johnson, the weapons you got, to me, there's absolutely no excuses for this. I'm gonna have very high expectations next year for him. And I'm going to be tougher when grading him. Like I think there's one thing that Bears fans do, not just Bears fans, I think it's one thing sports fans do. We did it a lot with Justin. I am not babying this nigga this year. I did a little bit during his rookie year. He was rookie, learned the game. It's year 2. You got what you wanted. You got a full off season with it. I don't need to see it obviously right away. Like I'm not expecting week 1 to come and these niggas is dropping 35 points. Like no, I think an offense with new parts, new head coach, it's gonna take a minute to gel. But I need to see stuff that I haven't seen before. Catch I'm Not Gonna Hold You, hosted by Scott Lewis, every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on HNB Media and the Barbershop Network.